This is my tier list ranking my favorite killers to go against as Survivor from, like, most favorite to least favorite. So, this is requested by a member of the community. If you have any other tier lists you want to see me do for Dead by Daylight, or just in general, let me know. And, I'll see what I can do to make that happen. So let's get started. So this tier list goes from all the way up to Dark Lord. It doesn't have the newest killer, Hound Master, at this point in time. But I guess in post-production, I'll add Hound Master somewhere in here. So to get started, we have Trapper here. Trapper's kind of like pesky, but like I don't think Trapper is as annoying as like other killers to go against, but I don't think he's in particular my favorite to go against either. He's pretty like mid to me, so I'm gonna put Trapper in probably B tier. And then we have Hillbilly. We have Ding Dong Man. If I don't know a killer's name, I kind of have like a nickname for them, so I call him Ding Dong Man. I can't ever remember his actual like name. He's another one that's like, he's just like, all the killers are like just pesky to go against to some degree. Oh, Wraith. Okay, so this is Wraith. And you know, they're all kind of pesky. I don't know if he's like my favorite. I don't get like super excited to go against him, but I feel like in terms of killers that I can loop pretty easily, I can loop Wraiths pretty okay, and like I usually have a pretty good match against Wraiths. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna put them in A tier. They're pretty chill to go against. Up next, we have Hillbilly. I feel like every single Hillbilly I have ever gone against has been the most toxic killers to go against. I don't know what it is. Consistently across the board, they are so incredibly toxic. They play dirty. I have never come across a nice Hillbilly. Like, I'm not saying there's not nice ones and good ones out there that generally just try to have a good time with, like, each match. But, like, I want to say just consistently across the board, like, 99% of the time I get a Hillbilly, it is just miserable. Absolutely miserable. I cannot stand to go against Hillbilly. So I'm gonna put them in F tier. I think they're like the scummiest killers out there. This next one, I think this is Nurse. Here. Nurses are pretty easy to go against, I feel like. Hillbilly is annoying to play against, but it's so funny to see others play against him and he gets the zoomies across the map. The zoomies is kind of fun, but I don't think the zoomies is enough to redeem him, because I just have like the worst experiences with Hillbilly. So but for Nurse I actually don't mind going against. I think Nurses are probably the easiest killers for me to go against, or at least one of the easiest killers. I don't really have a problem with them. So I'm gonna put them like in A tier. I feel like they're easy to like escape chases from. They have really cool skins too, so I like to look at the cosmetics. Overall, I feel like A tier is pretty chill place to put them. I don't really have any complaints against Nurse players. They seem to be pretty tame compared to some of the other killers that I go against. I think this is Michael here. Some of the art looks kind of weird down here, so I like second guess who's who. Yeah, so Michael, I really like going against Michaels for the most part. Like, there are some really toxic Michaels out there. And I think that can be said for like pretty much any killer in DBD. But I typically like going against Michael. I mean, sure, they can run some really annoying, nasty builds, but even the nasty builds, like, I don't know, Michael's like my favorite fictional serial killer like franchise. I really like the Halloween movies, so like that kind of plays into this a bit. And every time I hear like the little like Michael Myers theme song when I load into DBD and I hear it, I get really excited. So I'm probably gonna put them in A tier as well, but like I'm gonna put them closer to S tier. Like they're like high A tier. They're not quite S tier. They're definitely up there for me. So so yeah, that's where I'm gonna probably put that. I think that looks good for me. We have the Hag. I don't go against hags that often, but when I do, they're just really annoying. I don't really, like, hate hags. I don't particularly like hags either. I had to... Oh, Nina, I had to add an F. I added an F list. Or, like, an F thingy. So yeah, I added an F for me, because it only goes through D for some reason. But I definitely think the F tier belongs here, so I added my own F tier. So yeah. But for Hag, like, I don't really hate them, and I don't really like them in particular. They are truly just mid. I'm gonna put them in C tier. Like, they're just kind of there. They're just kind of there. I don't go against Hags that often. When I do, I'm not very good at going against Hag, but, like, I think there's far worse killers to go against, so I think that's pretty fair to put them there. This next one, Doctor... Y'all are gonna think I'm absolutely psychotic for this. I think this is probably my most controversial take for killers. I freaking love going against Doctor. Doctor, to me, is like... I truly feel like I'm in a horror game, and psychological horror is, like, my favorite horror genre. And, like, just watching my character, like, the mental state just deteriorate and go mad, and like the sounds and everything like really makes me feel like I'm going kind of crazy too. Like I think they're the most immersive experience when it like to go against for a killer in DBD. And so for me, they are just S tier. I freaking love Doctor, and I 100% understand why people cannot stand going against Doctor. I love going against Doctor. Like, the creepy laugh that you hear, just the mental, like, break that you have, and, like, you have to snap out of it. And, like, I don't know. Everything about Doctor, to me, is just so creepy, and I love it. So, yeah. Up next, we have Huntress. And, I don't really hate Huntress. I think Huntress is kind of annoying to go against, and I think it's really just a skill issue on my end. Most Huntress players I go against are really good at playing Huntress, especially since, like, been out for, you know, ever. So people have a lot of experience playing as Huntress. And, I don't think they're, like, the worst to go against, but they're not really my favorite either. I'm probably gonna put Huntress in B tier. The Huntress lullaby, or like the humming, gets stuck in my head a lot, and sometimes it plays in my sleep and in my dreams quite often. And I don't know if that's really a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't know. They're just kind of there. They're just kind of there for me. I have no issues going against Huntress. I think the only time I get tired of going against Huntress is when 2v8 mode comes out, and like, I don't know, just constantly going against them. But that's just because of the mode. It's not the killer themselves, you know? So, they're just kind of there for me. We have Leatherface. I forget what they actually call him in the game. I can't stand the sound of chainsaws, and much like Hillbilly, they're also equally just like the most toxic killers I think I have ever gone against, like 100% across the board. I just cannot, like, on top of just not being able to stand, like, I cannot stand the sound of chainsaws. I, like, have, like, a fear of the sound of chainsaws. And on top of that, like, they're just extremely toxic killers. I don't think I've ever gone against, like, a really good Leatherface either. So, like, these two, just F tier for me. Cannot stand them. They're so annoying. I like the challenge with Doctor is more psychological. Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly why Doctor is an S tier for me. S plus tier is Minnow. Are you calling me a villain, Sylv? Are you calling me a villain? Are you, am I your most favorite villain to go against? Is that what you're getting at? Is that what you're getting at? We have Freddy. Freddy Krueger, like, I haven't gone against a Freddy in a really long time. I guess I did once recently, but like, it is very rare, currently to go against a Freddy. When I do, like, I kind of get annoyed with Freddy's, but they're like, oh, I think they're slightly below mid. I think I'm gonna put Freddy like here in C tier, just above Hag. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, the franchise in general, and going against Freddy is just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. He's easy to go against in my opinion, but like, I don't really have any thoughts or opinions. Pretty mid. I like Freddy. His power isn't that difficult to me. Yeah, I agree. I don't think his power is that difficult, but he's pretty mid to me. Like, he doesn't stand out to me as a killer, and I don't know if that's because I just don't go against him that often. So I don't know. I don't know. Just Freddy's aren't really on my radar. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forget Freddy Krueger's even in the game, so... So I'm putting him at C tier, pretty mid, but whenever I do go against a Freddy, I think I enjoy Freddy's more than Hag, but I think I enjoy Huntress and, like, Trapper more than Freddy, so I think this is a really good, solid spot to put Freddy in for me. I heard Freddy was, like, Fazbear in my head? In my head? Oh! Are you talking about, are those games called again? They're like on the tip of my tongue. I don't like the games. It's not Poppy's Playtime. Five Nights at Freddy's. Sylv, I think we're mixing up the Freddy's. However, Five Nights at Freddy's is coming to Dead by Daylight next summer. So, I think they said like June 2025 or something. I'm not a fan of the franchise. I actually can't stand Five Nights at Freddy's. But, like, it's cool for the folks that are fans of Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. I'm curious to see what the collaboration's gonna look like when Five Nights at Freddy's comes to DBD. I have tried to play those games. I'm not a fan of those games. They're scary, don't get me wrong.
A test of your reflexes!
A test of your reflexes! Hey, Shrimp, welcome on in. How's it going? FNAF series is okay series. Yeah, it's not like... They're just not for me. I love horror games, but I'm not really a fan of FNAF. But I know a lot of people are. A lot of people are. I like the first FNAF, but I haven't played them all. I only played one of them, and it just wasn't, like, my favorite. Like, I had an okay time playing it, but I was like, I'm kind of over this, and I don't know. I wasn't really personally a big fan of the game. But I don't know, I guess for those of you watching this on YouTube, let me know down in the comments if you're excited for the FNAF collab coming to DBD. And, yeah, let me know your thoughts on that, I guess. Up next, we have the Pig. The Pig, so I'm a huge fan of the franchise, Saw franchise. So, like, I really want to be excited about the Pig, but I cannot stand going against the Pig, and I cannot stand the warehouse map in DBD. That's, like, my least favorite map, I think, and the Pig is, like, I don't know what it is, but pig killers are pretty, like, scummy, I feel like. I don't think they're quite as toxic as Leatherface and, like, Hillbilly, but, like, they're pretty toxic, in my opinion. Out of my experience going against the Pig, like, they just play dirty, and I don't know. I rarely have a good experience, but, you know, there are those few out there that allow you to boop the snoot, and I really appreciate the pig killers that do allow you to boop the snoot, so I think that is a little bit more of a saving grace than, like, the Leatherface and Hillbilly that I have in F tier. And because there are those few pig killers out there that allow you to boop the snoot, I'm gonna put them in D tier, but, like, overall, I don't like going against the Pig, and, yeah, so D tier, solid D tier for me. Their saving grace for not being an F tier is that some of the pig mains out there allow you to just boop the snoot. So yeah. Okay, next we have Clown. Clown's like one of those really pesky killers, but like I feel like when it comes to looping killers, I do pretty good with Clown, and I feel like I can drop chase, or like clowns tend to drop chase with me quite often. And I'm not very good at looping killers by any means, but for whatever reason, I have an easy time with Clown. Clown is like, I don't know, I think Clown's actually kind of fun to go against in my opinion. I think he's a little bit more fun to go against than Trapper, but I don't think he's quite as fun to go against as like the few that I have in A tier. So I'm gonna put him top of B tier. He's pretty fun. He's got some cool skins too. I don't know, like usually it's a pretty good time with my matches going against Clown. I don't really have issues. So up next we have I forget her name. I actually forget her name. I think it's the Spirit, right? Is that her name, Spirit? I just recently, like, I'm more or less kind of new to DBD. I'm approaching 600 hours in the game, so a lot of stuff is finally, like, kind of clicking in my head on, like, how to play the game and, like, learning, like, what specific killers do and stuff. I just recently learned about Spirit's, like, phasing moment and, like, not running while she's phasing. I didn't know that for the longest time, so I used to get wrecked left and right with Spirit. But I actually don't mind Spirit. Spirit's pretty chill. Most of my rounds with Spirit seem to be more or less okay. But, like, I don't go against Spirits that often either. So I don't know. I wouldn't say they're like my favorite, but they're definitely not my least favorite. They're pretty mid. I think I'm gonna put them like top C tier. I don't think they're like, I don't get super excited to go against Spirit, but I definitely like Spirit a little bit more than Freddy and Hag. So yeah, I think a solid like top C tier is good for them. I need to learn her lore more. From what I know, it's sad. Oh, is it really? I actually don't know the lore on most killers. I just started reading the lore on like the killers and survivors for most of them. So yeah, I don't know anything about Spirit though. Maybe I should do like little lore series where you just like read it. I don't know. I mean, you guys have the capability of reading the lore, but maybe I'll just read the lore. We need lore reaction videos. Yeah, maybe we can do something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I can do makeup inspired by the killer, and then we can do some lore reaction videos or something. I think that'd be super cool. I don't know. Or maybe I can do like a skit or something and theme with the lore, but that involves me reading the lore prior. I don't know. If y'all have any like ideas or suggestions on how I can incorporate some lore videos to my YouTube channel, let me know. Up next we have Legion. Legion. Arguably has some of the best skins in the game and has the best, well, I'm not gonna say the best. They have one of the top killer chase music out of all the killers in the game. Like, their music is so freaking cool. I really like it. Being like a person who's super big into metal and rock and stuff like that, like I get really excited to hear Legion's chase music. And the character looks so freaking cool, but to go against Legions, like, they all seem to have very similar playstyle, and I don't particularly like Legion playstyles. It's not the worst I've ever seen in the game, but consistently across the board, there's a pretty similar pattern to playing Legion, and most of the matches seem pretty predictable to me, and I don't particularly, like, enjoy Legions. I don't particularly, like, hate Legions. I don't know. I don't think I survive Legion matches too much either, though. Like, I kind of get the biggest eye roll, I guess, with Legions when I go against them, just because they're usually, like, very similar playstyle and very predictable. So I'm gonna put them in, like, top D tier. Like, they have really cool skins to look at, and the chase music is really cool, and I think the concept of Legion's really cool, but, like, I just kind of get tired of, like, that consistent playstyle with them. I would just like to see different, I guess. So, yeah, solid 10 for me for Legion. So we have Vommy Mommy up next, the Plague. I actually like going against the Plague, but let's see, I don't think they're beginner friendly at all. When I first started playing, I got them confused with Meg because they both have a head skin with a white mask. They got me knocked down so many times. Oh, I didn't even consider that. Yeah, you're right. They do have similar skins for sure. Just one of them's coming at you like to kill you, and the other one's coming at you to heal you. So, so, it's a, yeah, I can see where, like, if you are starting out playing DBD, how that can be kind of confusing for sure. So I think that can also contribute to me putting them in D tier. That's also something very good to consider. And that I did not think about. So, yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that. For Vommy Mommy, I wish I got to go against, the Plague more. I personally like the Plague. I know a lot of people don't like the Plague. Plague is pesky for sure, but, like, I mean, if you're spreading, like, a sickness, then of course it's gonna be pesky. When is a sickness not pesky? So personally, I'm down with the sickness, and I really do enjoy going against Plagues. I'm probably gonna put them top of A tier. I don't think they're quite S tier material, but I really do like going against Vommy Mommies, and I want to go against them more, so that's my opinion on that. The sickness must be purged. Exactly! Exactly. Cog gets it. Cog gets it. Up next we have Ghostface. Ghostfaces are so hit or miss with playstyle, but I don't know, man. Ghostfaces are, like, so hit or miss for me. I think Ghostface has the #1 best Mori animation, and I really like that. I think Ghostfaces can be really fun. Sometimes, like, I don't know. Ghostfaces are such a mystery to me whenever I, like, queue up and that's the killer. You just don't know what the playstyle is going to be. Sometimes they're really nice, sometimes they're really toxic, and sometimes they're really challenging in a fun way, sometimes they're really challenging in a not fun way. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise too, though, so, like, that kind of weighs in a bit. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't hate going against them. They're pretty high up there. I think they're a little more than mid. I think I'm gonna put them right there behind Clown on B tier. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for me. Okay, so we have Demogorgon. And I don't go against Demogorgon that much, although I do feel like lately I've been going against them more. They're... I don't know. I don't know what my thoughts are. Demogorgon, the screaming that the Demogorgon makes is really terrifying. But I don't know if I really like going against Demogorgons. I don't typically win against them that much. I don't know. I actually don't have much of opinion on Demogorgon. They're kind of scary. I get kind of, like, nervous to go against Demogorgons just because the screaming kind of terrifies me a bit whenever, like, you just hear it's, like, shrieking, like guttural scream across the map. And I think in that regards, it's pretty scary and it's really cool. But, like, in terms of, like, going against a Demogorgon, I don't typically have a good time, but, like, it's not, like, a miserable time with them either. I think they're pretty challenging to go against, more or less. But I don't think they're particularly my favorite either. However, I think I like going against them more than I do the Hag, but maybe not as much as, like, a Freddy Krueger, maybe? No. Yeah, I think this is where I want to put Demogorgon. I think I like Spirit a little bit more than Demogorgon. And I think I like Demogorgon a little bit more than Freddy. So yeah, I think this is a good solid place for me to put Demogorgon. Okay, so up next we have Oni. Onis are pretty fun, in my opinion, to go against. I don't think they're, like, my favorite, but I don't know. I don't go against Onis that often. I feel like when I first started playing DBD back in like 2017, I went against Onis a lot. But like in the past year, I don't think I go against Onis near as much as I used to. It kind of feels like a treat whenever I do go against an Oni. I think they have a really interesting ability, and they're pretty fun. I think they're pretty fun matches in my opinion. I typically have a good time going against Onis, so I think I'm gonna put them like end of A tier. They're pretty fun. I like Oni. I think Oni is pretty cool. Oni is cool, but they're insanely hard to play against. They are hard to play against, but I have a lot of fun going against Onis though. I tend to have really good matches with them. They seem to I tend to have a fun time against Onis compared to a lot of the other killers, and I do get pretty excited to go against an Oni. It's always something different because I don't go against them that often anymore. So I feel like whenever I do get an Oni, it's a treat because I think they have really cool abilities, and they're like overall just a really fun time. We have Deathslinger next. Oh, okay. I love the concept of Deathslinger, but they're really annoying to go against. I think Deathslinger looks freaking cool. I think they have one of the cooler designs for a character in DBD, and I really like the concept of Deathslinger, but my god, are they annoying to go against. Like, I feel like I just can't ever get away from their freaking, like, little harpoon gun spear thing. But, like, I really want to like going against Deathslinger. I don't know. They have really cool chase music, and they have really cool skins, and, like, I really want to like them. But, like, I don't always have the best of time going against Deathslingers. However, some of my most fun, challenging chases are against Deathslingers. And for that, like, I kind of want to put them, like, top of the C tier, I think. The hash-slinging slasher. Yes. Yes. So, I think top C tier, maybe for me. Definitely not the worst to go against. I do typically have a good time going against Deathslinger, but at the same time, they're like, it can be equally frustrating. So I think top of C tier is a good place for me to put them. So yeah. The slash flinging, the hash bringing, that's basically summing up Deathslinger pretty well. We have Pyramid Head next. And, like, Pyramid Head, man, how do I say this? Hear me out. That's all I gotta say. For character design, hear me out. I actually really enjoy going against Pyramid Heads. They're really fun, and, I actually really like Pyramid Heads. I get pretty excited to go against them. They're really creepy to see in the maps, and, oddly enough, I don't think I've ever gotten a Pyramid Head at Midwich Elementary map. But that's neither here nor there. I really like Pyramid Heads. I get pretty excited to go against them. It's not very often I see a Pyramid Head. Sometimes when I play Killer, I like to play as Pyramid Head. I think he's one of the first killers that I bought and picked up and tried to play. I like them. I don't think I've really ever had a bad time going against a Pyramid Head. Like, ever. Not that I can really think of. So yeah, definitely an S tier for sure. I really like Pyramid Head. Design-wise, hear me out. But also just a verse against, pretty fun in my opinion. I want to hate the killer, but I think my issue is not many survivors seem to know how to play against him, so those rounds usually suck. I don't know. I feel like when I go against Pyramid Head, I have pretty decent rounds against Pyramid Head. I think it's really easy to get caught up in his barbed wire for sure. But overall, like, I feel like I have a pretty okay experience with them. No one ever gets me from the cages. Oh, really? Really? That sucks. I mean, again, this is, like, purely based on my experiences. I've had good experiences with Pyramid Head, including, like, the random teammates that I have, like, if I'm solo queuing. I typically have good experiences. Now, I'm not necessarily considering my gameplay with the other survivors. I'm just thinking in terms of like one-on-one me versus this killer. This is like, I'm basing this off of like a 1v1 kind of thing and not so much a 1v4. Because solo queue is so random, you can't really judge that based on the killer's play style. So this is definitely me putting my tier list together in a 1v1 when I go against this killer. How much fun do I have? What are my experiences with me versus this killer? And excluding the other teammates. So that's how I'm kind of ranking this. I guess I should have prefaced that before. But yeah, that's how I'm ranking this. So yeah. Not dissing anyone in chat with that. I mean, yeah. Solo queue is usually bad, but that's for different reasons. That's for different reasons. It's not always the killer's fault for bad matches when you're solo queuing. Okay. This person, I always forget this killer's name. Is this Dredge? No. Wait. Yeah, this is Dredge. Blight? No, this is Blight. Right? No, that's Dredge. This is Blight. Yeah, you're right. This is Blight. I get Blight and Dredge mixed up. I don't go against them that often. I actually very rarely go against a Blight. But Blight is the one that like runs around like crazy, just like a little ping pong ball. And I have a really easy time going on long chases with Blights. And they're pretty fun. I don't go against Blights that often. I don't see too many people playing Blights in my matches. But yeah, he does have the zoomies. I think he has the most zoomies out of all the killers. He's just constantly like a little ping pong ball, just like all over the map. And it's really funny to me. It's actually really funny watching him just go like pew, 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 all across the map. I feel like it's really easy to get him to drop chases with you, and I think it's very easy to go on long chases with him. It's like easy to loop him as a killer. I have a pretty good experience a few times. I do go against Blight, and I just always forget his name, and I feel really bad. I feel so bad. I always forget his name. But I think he's pretty fun. I don't mind going against him. I think I appreciate him more than Huntress, but I think I enjoy Trapper just a little bit more. Maybe. What? No. Yeah, I feel more comfortable probably doing this, I think. Yeah. Because at least with them, I don't have to worry about stepping in traps. No, I think overall Blight's pretty fun. I don't have too many issues with them. I haven't had experiences with toxic Blights. Yeah. Blight feels like Hillbilly and Leatherface to me, but just different skins and audio sounds. I can see that. My issue, or not my issue, but I think the difference for me is that Blight killer mains tend to not be as toxic as Hillbilly and Leatherface. Hillbilly and Leatherface are like really toxic. I don't think I've ever had a single good experience with either of those killers. But with Blights, I have a pretty good, okay, like time going against Blights. They don't seem too terribly toxic to me. I think they're nice. I think they're nicer. I think they're nicer than Hillbilly and Leatherface. We have the twins next. I don't go against the twins that often. Like, at all. I think this is probably the most rare killer for me to go against. I don't really have an opinion on them. I don't hate them, I guess. I don't think I have, like, I don't know. I don't go against them, like, ever. I don't have much of an opinion. I'm putting them at the bottom of, like, D tier, only because I don't have really any, like, good evidence to, like, back up why I like them or don't like them. Creating a new tier for the twins, I've never gone against them. I feel like I almost should do that too. Like, I rarely go against the twins. It is super, super rare. This is probably the least killer I've ever versed. When I do, on the rare occasion, go against the twins, it's like a pretty cool time, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't really remember going against them, like, hardly ever. Yeah. Like, they're extremely bugged. I think I need to just add, hold on. Add a row below. I'm just gonna put NA for this. And then we'll give it like a color, I guess. Yeah. We'll put them down here in NA. I really just don't go against. I think I can count on one hand how many times I've gone against the twins. I don't have like substantial evidence to really say I like them or hate them, or even have any memorable moment with them. So that's where they're going. They're going in the NA section. Okay, so up next we have Trickster, and Trickster is so hard to place because, in my opinion, Trickster is like the #1 best designed character in DBD, in my opinion. Like, if we're ranking them based on looks, easily #1 top S tier, hottest character in my opinion. Like, can easily rival Pyramid Head. I think he surpasses Pyramid Head because we can see his face. And like, just so good looking cosmetically and like character design wise, has some of the best cosmetics, so freaking well done. I love the chase music, but my god, do I hate going against Trickster. I want to, like, I feel so torn. I feel so torn with Trickster because they irk the crap out of me to go against. I cannot stand going against Tricksters at all. I am really bad at going against them. I cannot loop them. I like instantly get down and knocked out of matches when I go against, like, I become the ultimate potato gamer against Trickster. And yet they're like my favorite designed character in the entire game. But we're not ranking them based on looks. We are ranking them based on my experience going against them. And they are so freaking annoying to go against. They are so annoying. Now, they're not necessarily toxic players, but like, they're definitely way better than Hillbilly and Leatherface. But they're not fun. They're not fun. I got strong opinions about Trickster. They're not fun. Love him because he looks cool and he's a K-pop idol turned killer, but he always makes me want to DC. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. This is the one killer that brings out the emotions in me. Should go from that perspective. Oh, like, going off of looks. I like how Schmutz is like, nope. Nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. He's so OP that it feels just like toxic gameplay no matter what. That's how I feel. He's got, just so many emotions towards him. He is so good looking and so not fun to go against, and I feel so torn. Maybe I should do another tier list based on their looks. Maybe we'll do one based on their looks. S tier all the way for looks. F tier for like going against. But he doesn't have a chainsaw, and so he's a little bit above Hillbilly and Leatherface for me. So yeah. Hey, Red Queen, welcome on in. I love your beanie today. Thank you. Thank you. It's my new beanie. My roommate got it for me when we went to an anime convention a few months ago, and it's like little cat. I guess you can't see the top of it, but it's like little cat ears. Cat ears. So I like my little beanie. I was having a bad hair day today, so today's a beanie day. For Nemesis, I'm really bad at going against Nemesis, and I think it's honestly a skill issue. It is definitely a skill issue. I don't mind going against a Nemi. I think he's more fun than some of these other characters. But I don't necessarily have a good time either, and it's purely skill issue. I'm just, like, I just fall apart as a player when I go against Nemesis. And I really want to like Nemesis. I think he's more fun than some other characters, but like, I'm personally just really bad. He's definitely C tier. I don't know where to put him in C tier though. I feel like his whip range is way too long. Maybe, like, down... Maybe here? It feels wrong to put him this low in C tier. Maybe... No... Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna put Nemesis. His whip range is just a little too long. And I just don't play well against Nemi, unfortunately. I just don't. I'm doing good. Happy Friday, everyone. Yes, happy Friday to you as well. I'm doing freaking fantastic. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing good too. We are currently doing a tier list of my favorite to least favorite killers to go against. And then after that, we're going to hop into some open lobby DBD. So for those of you who want to play with me, you're more than welcome to. We'd love to have you. So yeah, I like the idea of him, but I just think need more practice against him. That's how I feel. Like, I'm just absolute potato gamer. Absolutely potato gamer when it comes to Nemi. He's not my favorite, but he's not my least favorite either. So I feel pretty okay putting him down here on the C tier, honestly, but it's purely skill issue. It is literally on me. It's a skill issue. We have Pinhead. Pinhead is annoying, but, like... No, he's just kind of annoying. He's, like, really annoying. Not toxic, but just annoying. High D tier. High D tier. Actually, I might go as far to say, like, in between Pig and Legion. I love the Hellraiser movies, and I really like the concept of Pinhead, but he is so pesky. It's really hard to not consider playing with people, because when I solo queue, a lot of people don't mess with his box, and so you're constantly dealing with the chains, and, I don't know. But, like, when I 1v1 Pinhead, when I 1v1 Pinhead, like, it's not a bad time. The chains just get to be a bit too much, and the chains can really frustrate me. And I feel like I'm constantly the one having to go unlock the box and mess with the box. And I don't know. It's not really typically a good time against Pinhead, but I love the concept and the idea of having him in DBD. So he's definitely not in F tier, but, like, I don't know. I think I feel confident putting Pinhead in D tier over here. I never knew about his cube puzzle until you mentioned it the other day, so I don't know how I feel about him yet. I'm still giving him a second chance. That's fair. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't know a lot of killers' abilities, and I feel like DBD does a really bad job of teaching new players how to go against every single different character. Like, I wish there was some kind of training mode where you, as a survivor, can select against an AI killer, like any of the killers, and practice going against those killers with, like, their built-in perks that, like, they come with. And I feel like there's just not a good way to learn how to go against these killers outside of just hoping you queue against them and with practice over time. Yeah, a lot of players, like a lot of new players, do not know how to go against Pinhead, and that's really annoying, but I have to factor that out of this tier list and strictly go against me versus Pyramid. I keep saying Pyramid Head. Pinhead. I have to strictly go against me versus Pinhead, and I typically just have a really frustrating time, and it's not because I don't know how to go against Pinhead, I just have a frustrating time with him. I just don't really like going against Pinhead, in my opinion. But I freaking love the Hellraiser franchise, so there's that. Hey, Frog, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. I think Killer should also have a tutorial text that you can toggle on or off in settings for the first 3 rounds against Killer. I think that would be really cool, too. They definitely need something to help out with survivors going against killers, especially since they keep adding more killers. And there's so many perks now that it's hard to, like, learn all of it. It's really overwhelming. DBD is not a beginner-friendly game by any means. Like I said earlier, I'm coming up on 600 hours in the game, and I'm just now starting to, like, understand tidbits of DBD. And yeah. So up next we have the artist. I actually like the artist. I think the artist is pretty cool, and I think artist has really sick skins, character design. I kind of enjoy going against artist. I think she's a good amount of challenging in my opinion, and the matches I have against artists are always super challenging. They are pretty frustrating to go against from from time to time. But overall, I think they're a really cool character concept and cool like design. And I more or less do have fun going against artists. I think I like going against artists probably more than more than these three. Her birds are really pesky, but at the same time, I think it's very different from a lot of the other killers to go against, and I don't know. I like the idea of the artist. I think a lot of people might disagree with me on this one. I know a lot of people don't like going against artist, but I don't know. She's pretty high up there for me, so I feel pretty confident putting artist above Blight and Trapper and Huntress. So, yeah. Now we have Sadako. Okay, so Sadako constantly keeps getting reworked, and so it's like hard to like really say if I like going against them or not. Sadako is annoying because there's so much to do as Sadako. I feel like I spend more time in the match just running from one side of the map to the other, like inserting videotapes into the TVs, than I ever do actually playing the game. And so I feel like that gives Sadako like a really high advantage of winning, because survivors have like this whole other task and like basically another chore to take on when going against Sadako. I am a huge fan of the Ring movie. Well, I like the first Ring movie. And I love the concept and idea of Sadako, and I think it's really cool that she's in the game. But as of right now, I don't find her that fun to go against. There's just so much to do, and like I feel like it takes away from playing the actual game. So that being said, she's not my least favorite, but she's like, I think I'm gonna put her high D tier. High D tier. I really want to like her, but in this current state, I'm just not a fan of going against Sadako right now. There's just too much extra work to do, and I feel like the devs can't figure out what the heck they want to do with Sadako and her abilities. They keep reworking her. So in this given state, just not really a fan of going against her. So yeah. I love her and her TVs. I think it's really cool, but like it's just so much extra work to do because I'm constantly having to go from one side of the map to the other, and it just pulls you away from working on gens and helping out your teammates, and like it's just one more thing to juggle, and it's like a hefty task to juggle in my opinion. So you should do a double tier list and also rank them on how hot they are. So Frog, I was actually talking about that earlier. I would like to do another tier list based on like their attractiveness in my opinion. Because I had some words to say about Trickster, this killer right here. Definitely had some words to say. Gorgeous man, sucks to go against. So definitely want to do another tier list. I have multiple DBD tier list ideas I'd like to do. I can rank maps. I can rank like killers based on like attractiveness. I can rank survivors based on attractiveness. Things like that. Of course, it will all be like on based on my opinion. But yeah. Definitely want to do some other tier lists going forward too. Up next is Dredge. Dredge is probably one of the earliest killers that I learned like what their abilities were and feeling confident to go against them. But I feel like going against Dredge is so dreadful. Or sorry, going against Dredge is so dreadful, and I don't know. I like them, but I don't like going against them that much. But like, there's far worse to go against. I think more or less Dredge is like pretty okay to go against. He has some new skins coming that won the player base like cosmetic contest. And those skins look so freaking cool. I cannot wait for the skins to come out for Dredge. But I don't know. pretty in the middle kind of opinion when it comes to Dredge. I don't mind going against Dredge, actually. But he's not my favorite either. I kind of want to put him, like, I can't decide if I want to put him high C tier or low B tier. Maybe high C tier. Yeah, I think high C tier for sure. Yeah. Yep. I feel confident with that. I think the task for her is one of the more intuitive tasks for new players, unlike Pinhead, as we mentioned earlier. A lot of new players actually don't know that they're supposed to do anything with Sadako's tapes, or new players will pick up the tape and just hold on to it, and that's not good to do either. So I think that Sadako is a more complicated killer to go against for new players. But again, we're not basing this on new players. We're strictly going against my overall experience going against these killers 1v1. So we have Wesker. And Wesker, I love calling him Albert Whiskers. We got Whiskers over here. Wesker can be so fun to play as, but can be so equally annoying as well. But I freaking love Wesker as just a character in this game. I think he's a hoot to go against. It could be so fun. And can be really challenging. He can be really hard to, like, get out of chase with. And I'm not good at looping this killer by any means. But I always have fun going against Wesker, though. And, I've had some really fun Weskers, so I definitely want to put Wesker, like, maybe, like, low A tier, I think. I think that's where I want to put Wesker. Yeah, he's pretty fun. He's pretty fun, in my opinion. Alright, up next we have the Knight. I cannot stand the Knight. I absolutely loathe the Knight. Like, so freaking annoying. I've had good Knights that I've gone against, but, like, my overall experience, like, I absolutely dread going against Knight. I think they're so freaking annoying. I can't stand the map that they come with. I don't like anything about the Knight. So definitely putting him down here in F tier. I just cannot stand the Knight. At all. Like, at all. Definitely F tier. Enough said about that. I don't think I have any more opinions to say. So yeah, how easy your killers are to figure out. Oh, okay, yeah. No, that definitely is important for sure. Stuck at work for another 2 more hours. I hope your work goes by fast. I hope these last 2 hours go by fast. I'll be going to get food. Yes, go get you some foods, Remnant. Go get food. I think I saw something about Taco Bell, so go get your Taco Hell. I mean, I like Taco Hell too, but yeah, definitely go get your Taco Bell. I would love to see Sam and Josh as survivors, but I think Josh will be unlikely. Sam and Josh from what? Are we talking about Until Dawn? Those are characters in Until Dawn, so that's my immediate thought. Are we talking about Until Dawn? Oh, let's see. I just now saw your previous comment. I'm really hoping the little teaser at the end of the Until Dawn remake means that Until Dawn is coming to DBD. I haven't played the Until Dawn remake at all, so please no spoilers. That is a game I have been dying to play, but I just don't have the funds to be buying new games right now. So I don't know when I will get to play the Until Dawn remake, but Until Dawn is one of my all-time favorite horror games. I played the original multiple times, and I freaking love Until Dawn. So maybe at some point, I think it'd be super cool to see Until Dawn come to DBD. I also would love to see Terrifier come to DBD as well. I think Art the Clown and Sienna Shaw would be amazing additions to DBD, but I don't know, we'll see. But Until Dawn would also be so freaking cool to have as well in DBD. I could definitely get on board with that. Okay. Up next we have Artist. Sorry, not Artist, School Merchant. We have School Merchant. School Merchants are just really annoying. I think people hate her more than I do. I don't go against School Merchant that often, and the few times I have, all the survivors just immediately DC, so, like, I haven't really gotten, like, a genuine experience against School Merchant. I think the concept of her is really cool, but I just don't go against her that much, but I have gone against her a lot more than I have the twins. I don't know. I feel like I have to say kind of like inconclusive. I think I have to put Skull Merchant in NA because I don't go against her that much. And whenever I do get to go against her, all the survivors like DC. So like I don't even get a chance to even form necessarily an opinion on Skull Merchant. So it's like kind of inconclusive. I really don't know. Everyone absolutely cannot stand her. So I don't know, but I can't, like, I don't understand why, because I just don't have enough experience going against her. So yeah. We have Singularity. Singularity is another one that I very rarely have gone against. I almost feel like this is an inconclusive one as well, because I don't really have experience going. I don't even know what Singularity does. I think I've seen Singularity like 4 times in the entire time I've been playing DBD. So, unfortunately, that's another inconclusive one. I don't have enough experience going against Singularity. So, I have no opinion. No spoilers. There's just a little scene at the end where the model looks different, and personally, I think it looks like it means it's coming to DBD. Well, so they are making an Until Dawn movie. So, it could be more so they're alluding to the movie that's coming out. So that might be more alluding to the movie. But who knows? Maybe it is coming to DBD. Who's the vampire-looking guy at the end? This is the Dark Lord. He is the second to most recent killer to be added. This is Dracula. He was a part of the Castlevania DLC that recently came out. So on Survivor side, you have Trevor Belmont, but you can get an Alucard skin for Trevor, so you can also play as Alucard. But yeah, so that's the Dark Lord, aka Dracula. So yeah, Singularity is so cool. His chase music could be an NCT song. Oh, that's cool. I have no idea what it's like to go against Singularity. I never go against him, so I think more people need to play Singularity so I can have experience. Alucard is Dracula backwards. I know, I've heard about that. I have heard about that. The Leviathan, where they send souls out, or Death or Loki even. What? Draconic! We're talking about the vampire down here. Up next we have Xenomorph. Believe it or not, I've never seen the Alien movies. I've never seen the Alien movies. I want to see them, and for whatever reason, I just haven't watched them. But I actually don't mind going against Xenomorph. Xenomorph is pretty fun. I really like setting up the little flame turret things. And, overall, like, just really fun time. I think I like him more than these killers. So yeah, I think high B tier for me for this one, for sure. Back to the tier list, we have Chucky. So I love to play as Chucky, and I absolutely hate to go against Chucky. Chucky's freaking annoying. Definitely like an F tier. Yeah, definitely an F tier killer. I don't like going against Chucky at all. Yeah, I think these killers are worse. Maybe, no, I think it's more like this. Yeah, I like this better. I think Trickster's just a smidge better than Chucky. Chucky, I just cannot stand to go against him, but I love to play him. He's super fun to play as, but he's just not fun to go against in any way. I don't think I've ever had a good time as Chucky. I don't even think I've survived a match against Chucky, to be totally honest. Okay, up next we have the Unknown. I love going against the Unknown, and I wish more people would play the Unknown. I think the Unknown is super fun. He's like one of my favorite killers to go against. It's always just a fun time with the Unknown. Such a unique concept for a killer, and I don't know. I loved everything like from this DLC. I loved the map. I like the killer. I like the survivor. I'm a Sable main. Everything from the All Things Wicked like DLC was just fantastic. Absolutely loved it. One of my favorites for sure. Vecna. A lot of people like Vecna. I can't stand Vecna at all. He is so annoying to go against, but I do still think there are killers worse than him to go against. But he's just not a good time. I don't know. He's challenging. I seem to struggle to go against Vecna, or they call him the Lich. I don't know. I'm gonna say maybe D tier. Maybe I feel like he belongs in D tier. I think maybe like a high D tier. Because I think I have more fun going against Sadako than I do him. Maybe Legion 2. Yeah, I feel comfortable putting him like kind of in between here. I'm just really bad. It's a skill issue for sure on my end. I'm just not good at going against him. I don't have a good time against him, but it is purely skill issue. He's icky looking. I have to Google the ones. I forgot about the D&D DLC, so hearing Vecna had me like, yeah! People don't seem to play Vecna that much. I've been seeing more Asteri survivors in my rounds or in my matches. But yeah, like I don't see people playing Vecna as much as I thought that I would. He's pretty OP right now in my opinion. He's definitely one of the more harder killers to go against. So yeah, I put my tier list in the gaming channel in Discord. Okay, I'll definitely have to check it out here in just a second. But yeah, and then the unknown is very creepy looking, but he is so fun to go against. So fun. And then lastly, we have the Dark Lord, aka Dracula. I really enjoy going against Dracula. He's pretty fun, and has one of the best chase music in the game. The only issue I kind of have against Dracula is that allegedly there is an audio cue for when he does his Hellfire, but I don't hear anything. So, that's kind of like my biggest gripe, but he's super fun to go against, and I get really excited to go against Dark Lord. I wish more people would play as Dark Lord. Definitely an A tier for me. It's just a matter of where I want to put him in A tier. Like maybe like a high A tier, because I really enjoy going against him. The chase music is so good. It's so catchy. So yeah, definitely a high A tier. And then Houndmaster's not listed on here. But if I were to add Houndmaster's pretty fun to go against. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite killer to go against, but I think for right now, I would put Houndmaster somewhere in like maybe like higher B tier, lower A tier. But Houndmaster's only been out for a couple of weeks, so it's still kind of like new, and I'm still like kind of forming an opinion on that killer, so kind of hard to say at the moment. But as of right now, like they've been pretty fun. I don't think anyone's really had a chance to like master Houndmaster yet, so everyone's still very new to playing that killer, so it's kind of hard to like throw them into the tier list at the moment. But overall, this is my tier list, and I feel pretty confident in this. And then again, like these three down here for NA, I just haven't gone against them enough to even form an opinion. I know a lot of people cannot stand Skull Merchant. But because they can't stand Skull Merchant, they just immediately DC when they find out that's the killer. So I've never really had a good, genuine chance to go against a Skull Merchant. So it's kind of a shame. So I can't really form an opinion. And the other two, I never see people play them, unfortunately. So just kind of inconclusive. I just don't, I haven't gone against them to even form an opinion. But everything else, I think I feel pretty strong about this tier list. And for those of you over on YouTube, who's your favorite killer to go against and who is your least favorite killer to go against? Kind of tell me, I guess, more or less your tier list for this.